it home, I dug her out, then I made her one of my aces. Marijuana fragrance, this tree here is outrageous. Want me to play in your city? Send an email to my agent.
Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we're back for episode 10 of the Miami Marlins franchise here on MLB 13, the show. And today we're here for the first offseason. Now, I decided not to live stream this offseason because it would have taken longer for me to get out. As you guys know, my live stream settings aren't that great. I can't really live stream in high quality, so I felt like it wasn't worth it. So, also now I can get it out quicker to you guys. We can move on, which is good because I'm really excited for year two. I think you guys are going to really like the moves that I made. I decided also not to do a live commentary. I decided I would edit it down, keep it short and sweet for you guys. And I think it's better that way. I think it's higher quality, all that good stuff. So you can take a look at a few key players' stats. We went through some hitters. Now we're looking at some of our younger pitchers. Jacob Turner with a really good year, 3.29 ERA. Fernandez got his down to 4.44, and Webster's was 4.5, I think. So you can also see some league leaders right now. I don't think we led the league in anything for like individual categories, and I didn't check team stats, but I'm sure we were last in most of them considering how bad we were this year. But that's not a big deal. We all knew this was going to be a rebuilding year for us. We all knew that we were, kind of moving towards trying to develop younger talent, trying to acquire younger talent. And, I think we took a step in the right direction with a few key trades, getting guys like Yasiel Puig and Alan Webster and Tim Wheeler. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy the offseason, though, because we do make a few really good moves. Now, as you guys know, the Miami Marlins probably don't have the biggest budget in the world. We don't have the most money to spend. As you can see, Yasiel Puig almost got Rookie of the Year, finished in second. Donovan Solano does get Gold Glove, though. And I believe Giancarlo Stanton is going to get Silver Slugger. So that's good. Those are, I think, the individual awards we won. But yeah, I think, obviously, we don't have a lot of budget to spend on free agents and all that stuff. But I do think that, through trades and stuff, I think we had a pretty good offseason. So you can see we finished 70 and 92, a 4.32 winning percentage. Obviously not good enough to make the playoffs. So we're simulating ahead here. And you're going to see the Diamondbacks beat the Rays in the World Series, a battle of small markets. So that's good to see. A budget increase. We got a 10% budget increase. That's pretty standard for MLB 13 to show. Ryan Theriot retires, as you can see. It would have been nice to bring him back as a utility infielder, but that's alright. He's pretty replaceable. So you can see we do have a few prospects that are now on the team that we drafted in the last MLB draft. Joe Katomer, our first baseman, and another notable one is going to be our center fielder, Lamont Hill. Now, Katomer is pretty much MLB ready, so he'll likely start out in AAA for 20 days and then get called up pretty soon. We might have to move Logan Morrison to an outfield position possibly because he can play corner outfield. You can see some key contracts here that we've been offering to our players. I tried to get Puig, Fernandez, Turner, and Webster all on 5-year deals, but they all refused, so I ended up giving them 3-year deals. You'll see later when they all sign. I gave Stanton a 3-year, $27 million deal. I don't really expect him to take that. We'll have to see what happens. And then pretty much the first offseason of any franchise, you just have to re-sign your entire farm system, which kind of sucks because everyone's on 1-year contracts. But I gave most of these guys 1 to 2 to 3-year deals. So hopefully, obviously it won't be as painful next offseason. We pretty much re-signed everyone we could, aside from a few older guys. And we're going to simulate ahead here a little bit. And you're going to see all the guys that end up re-signing. Notables like Henderson Alvarez. You can see Ryan Webb. And then I don't know if you caught it, but Giancarlo Stanton actually takes his 3-year, $27 million deal. We get Logan Morrison for 5 years. That's good. I don't know why, but I accidentally gave Austin Kearns a 4-year deal. That was a mistake, and now he's untradeable. That's alright, though. It's not a big deal. We get Marisnik back. We get Kyle Parker back. We get Kochman. And among a few other prospects, Gorkys Hernandez. He was acquired in the Gabby Sanchez trade last year. So we've gotten a few key guys back, and that's good to see. We've pretty much re-signed most of our team at this point. You can see Giancarlo Stanton takes his 3-year, $27 million deal. He has a flat rate of $9 million per year for the next 3 years. So that takes him right up to the point where he's eligible for free agency. We avoid arbitration with him, which is good. So he might have to be traded in the next couple of years, but we'll see what happens. And you can see we just didn't have any money to sign some guys. So I was offering guys kind of low-level contracts. The only notable name I offered a contract was Shin-Soo Choo. The rest were pretty much, platoon-type players at best. So time for the Rule 5 draft. We're going to end up taking Dodgers pitching prospect Zach Lee. Now, the thing with the Rule 5 draft is you have to keep these guys on the 25-man roster. And I'm also going to take a reliever, Clay Rapata. He's only 32 years old, so hopefully he can be decent for us. And we're making our first trade of the offseason. We're going to dump a little bit of salary in Johnny Gomes. We're also giving up a 24-year-old C potential pitching prospect in Brian Flynn. And we end up acquiring a good backup catcher in John Buck. And you can see Jacob Turner takes his deal, which is good to see. So we got him for the next 3 years. Now you can see Yasiel Puig has accepted his deal as we go through some arbitration. We got Miguel Gonzalez and Steve Cishek both on pretty cheap arbitration contracts, so that's good. So now we're skipping ahead towards the end of the offseason. I accidentally cut out the clip of re-signing Allen Webster. He's back for 3 more years. We did have to renew Fernandez's contract. I would have liked to get him on a long-term deal, but that's all right. We'll have to worry about that next offseason. Now here's where things get a little bit interesting. So we're going to sign Derek Jeter. Yes, he's a free agent. He's declined to a 70 overall, but he's a good guy who can come off the bench. He can spot Adana Hechavarria, maybe some starts here and there. And here's a big trade we're doing. Tim Wheeler and Miguel Gonzalez for Nick Franklin and Albert Almora. Mora is a 19-year-old B potential center fielder who's pretty much MLB ready. And we also get Nick Franklin, one of the best second base prospects in baseball. He's on the Mariners in real life. He was on the Mets there. So you can take a look. We're editing some guys' positions. So I'm converting Trevor Story to a full-time third baseman. And I'm converting Yasiel Puig to a full-time left fielder. And we're also going to move Nick Franklin to shortstop. These are all these people's secondary positions. So don't worry, I'm not shooting the game. These are all their secondary positions. I'm just making them primary so that when we call them up, or whatever, when they get in the lineups, it doesn't auto reset to put them at their second base for Nick Franklin, so he'll go to shortstop automatically. So you saw the lineups there. We were missing a few key guys: Albert Almora, Joe Katomer, among the notables that are still in AAA. Now what we're going to be doing is we're sending those guys down to AAA to start the season, so that if they spend 20 days in AAA, we retain an extra year of arbitration for them. So half the AAA team's going to be called up 20 days into the season, and we'll get an extra year of arbitration for all those guys. They get an extra year of team control. They won't hit free agency till 2020 instead of 2019, so that benefits us. You can see we're updating our trade block here, and that pretty much wraps up this episode. So I think we only made a few small deals, but I think the deals that we did make were pretty good ones. We end up getting Albert Almora, potential center fielder for the future. So now we have our outfield almost set. Almora's only 19 years old. That's really young. He's already a 78 overall. B potential, as I mentioned. Combined with Puig and Stanton, we have a good solid outfield for the future. We get Nick Franklin. That really sets up our infield for the future. We already have Lomo and Solano, but now we can put Franklin to shortstop and move Trevor Story to third base, which is something that the Rockies have planned to do for a while since Tulowitzki's already at short for them. So, and Franklin is I think originally he might have been a shortstop prospect. I know he's been talked about potentially playing shortstop, but it seems like the Mariners want him maybe full-time at second base. I don't know what their plans are with Dustin Ackley, but he was listed as secondary position shortstop, so I felt it was okay to move him there. So it looks like we might have our infield set for the future. We got Rob Brantley. We got some young pitchers. Guys, this is a really young team with a lot of potential. I think, we kind of have our roster set for a little bit now. This is good. So I feel like we had a really successful offseason. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. And it doesn't matter. Peace.